You are watching Top 5 Kitchen Gadgets of 2016.
This is the American Press. Born in Chicago and raised in Detroit, it's taken nearly 5 years and every penny friends and family would lend to create it. Originally, I was inspired by solving the problem of coffee presses that were messy and frustrating to clean, and pod-based brewers that were mess-free but provided no connection with the brewing experience and generated thousands of tons of landfill waste. You may still be wondering just exactly how does an American Press work and what makes it unique. This is a big part of what makes the American Press different. It's a specially designed, reusable pod that's at the heart of the American Press's patented brewing technology. As you press, you're forcing water under pressure through this pod and the grounds contained in it. That's what makes the American Press more like an espresso machine than a traditional coffee press. And because the grounds are contained, it's also part of what makes the American Press easy to clean. Simply remove the pod from the carafe, detach, and shake the spent grounds out into the trash or compost. And thanks to our specially designed seal, it's also part of what makes the American Press easy to press, while still generating the pressure needed to brew a rich, complex cup of coffee in just 1 to 2 minutes. This seal is also what creates the visual magic of a column of clear water transforming into a column of rich, dark coffee as you press. And now, on to the best part, actually making coffee with an American Press. Setup is really as simple as just adding hot water and coffee. First, fill the pod with 20 to 24 grams of medium grind coffee. The same grind you'll find in pre-ground coffee will work just fine. Now, you can add more or less coffee, you can play with grind fineness, you can even try tamping. But for the purposes of this short tutorial, I'm just going to show you the basics you need to get up and brewing right out of the box. Next, attach the pod and then fill the carafe with 12 ounces of hot water. Now again, you can use more or less water, but for the purposes of this short tutorial, we're just going to make a standard 12-ounce serving. Finally, the press slides easily into the carafe. Just give it a light press to firmly seat, and you're ready to brew. You'll see water beginning to enter the pod, at which point you can pause for a moment to pre-infuse, or you can simply continue to press slowly and evenly. When you reach the bottom, you're done. Setup is really as simple as just adding hot water and coffee, and brewing is really as simple as just press and pour. And true to the spirit of creating a coffee press without the mess, our specially designed pouring edge won't spill a drop. And now that I've shown you the basics, I'll just add that there are many different ways you can play with things like grind fineness, water volume, and timing to craft your own perfect cup. But this basic method will yield a great quality cup of coffee quickly and easily. And if you've been wondering this whole time if you can make tea this way, yes, the American Press works great with loose leaf tea as well.
Bolo is a true innovation, combining two of humanity's most important inventions to date, the knife and the wheel, creating a one-of-a-kind rolling knife, your perfect kitchen accessory. Bolo makes preparing your meals faster and easier. The engineered circular blade, coupled with Bolo's sturdy construction, allows you to achieve chef-quality precision in your cutting. And Bolo easily tackles many of the jobs your other knives can't do. The ergonomic handle makes Bolo more functional and more comfortable than your regular kitchen knives.
As a chef, a product designer, and a housewares manufacturer, I've worked with and studied knives for over 30 years, and I find they all have one common deficiency. The angle of the blade and the grip on the handle puts too much stress on your wrist and hand. Bolo changes all of that. By placing the force of your hand directly above the blade, you get better precision cutting while relieving your hand and wrist from unnatural movements. The result? Perfectly cut food, each and every time, fast and easy.
And the special blade brake even turns Bolo into a chopper. And cleaning Bolo could not be easier. Just open at both ends, remove the blade, and rinse.
Hi everyone, bonjour. I'm Natalie, the creative director. Thank you for watching our video. We think this little knife is going to do big things. But in order to get there, we need your help. Every pledge made to our project brings us one step closer to be able to put Bolo into full production and start shipping them to great folks like yourself. We already have a patent in place and our tooling ready for manufacturing. With your backing, we'll be able to manufacture our units and finalize our packaging components. Please help spread the word about Bolo to your friends and family. We promise you will love your new perfect kitchen accessory.
I was 12 years old. I was at a family Christmas party. My aunt turned away a glass of wine because of the sulfites. It wasn't until many years after that, and a long time spent learning chemistry in grad school, that I realized really what sulfites were, and that I had the skills and the education to solve what's a problem for a lot of people.
Even today, there's this artisan feel to winemaking. You wake up before dawn, you walk the vineyard rows, you get to work with your hands. And there's something about being connected to the land that constantly reminds you winemaking is a natural process. I've always been told that good wine comes from good grapes, and that's certainly true. But after the grapes leave the vineyard, there's a whole separate process that starts in the winery that most wine drinkers aren't even aware of. More and more vineyards are going organic, and that's great because that means less pesticides and chemicals in our wine. But wineries still need to use preservatives to ensure that wine doesn't go bad during production. One of my first roles at the winery was adding sulfites to the grapes after they were harvested. And that's when I realized how intense these chemicals really are. That being said, I understand the important role they play in modern winemaking on an industrial scale. But if I could remove preservatives from our wine before I drank it, I definitely would.
Sulfites are an essential preservative in winemaking. They're the reason we can enjoy wines from all over the world. Because without sulfites, the wine would never have survived the trip from the vineyard to your glass. But when you're ready to drink the wine, that job is done. So removing sulfites with Ulo lets you bring the wine back to its original state, as if you were drinking it right at the vineyard. This is how Ulo works. You pour your wine through, and the sulfites are retained on a filter material while everything else in the wine just flows right past, completely unaffected. That's selective sulfite capture, and it's important because we want to maintain the original taste and character of the wine and only remove that one thing, sulfites. We know that aeration can be really important for wine. For red wines in particular, it boosts the flavors that are already there, but we know it's not as necessary for white wines. So Ulo had to have the option of turning the aerator on or off. Wine's unique because it works in so many different settings. We can drink it socially, we can have a glass by ourselves. We knew that and designed Ulo to integrate into a glass carafe or decanter if you're serving an entire bottle. But if you're looking to have just a single glass for yourself, it rests on top of your wine glass as well. When developing Ulo, we've worked together to make sure that Ulo always preserves the integrity, the character, and the flavor of any wine.
Hi, I'm Matthew. 10 years ago, I set up a company that sells coffee and coffee machines throughout the UK. As well as being a business owner and a coffee lover, I'm also an engineer. And for the last 6 years, I've been working on a device that can now lay claim to being the world's first perfect portable coffee maker. So what's different about this device? You can use it anywhere, anytime, any place, whether it's on the tram, out and about, or just in the office. This is the Oomph, the world's first perfect portable coffee maker. Have you ever wondered why the coffee that you get at home never ever tastes as good as the coffee that you get from your local coffee shop? Well, there is a reason for that, and the main reason is that you're not using a machine that costs thousands and thousands of dollars or pounds. A commercial coffee machine, similar probably to the one being used in your local coffee shop, is going to be doing a number of things to make sure that it creates the perfect cup of coffee. Number one, it's going to be preparing the coffee correctly for the beverage that's about to be made. Number two, it's going to be maintaining the correct pressure throughout the brewing process. This in turn will lead to the correct flow rate being used of the water passing the coffee particles. And last of all, this will in turn give you the correct extraction and will also stop the coffee from over extracting. Okay, so that all sounds very technical and quite complicated, but this little device controls all of those aspects without the need for electricity and just at a fraction of the cost. So making coffee on the device is really easy. Add your coffee, add hot water, let the level rise on the outside chamber, top up with hot water, press down on the outer casing to brew the coffee under pressure, and you're left with a rich tasting, perfectly brewed portable coffee. The Oomph is insulated by design with an air barrier around the entire device. The smart turbine corrects for variations in ground coffee, so you can use a range of different grinds. Whenever the user drinks, the dynamic mixer stirs the coffee so that it tastes the same from beginning to end. Cleaning the Oomph is fast and simple. Add a small amount of water, pump up and down to internally clean, and you're ready to use again. So after 6 years of development, we've got working prototypes making great coffee. We've had it tested by all the experts, and what we need help with now is we need your pledge to help to bring the Oomph to market. Thanks for listening.
In a world where there are billions of pots and pans comes one lid to fit them all.
Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. Please like and subscribe.